Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be another edition in the Canon or Cannot video series. If it's your first time seeing one of these videos, I tackle supplemental material in the Crash Bandicoot series and give my opinions as to whether I think it can or cannot fit into continuity with the franchise. So, based off the title of the video and the thumbnail, you can see we are going over Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, the comic. This is a prelude and it occurs prior to the game. So I'm going to do a quick read through and then I'm going to give you my opinions. It's only 22 pages, so it shouldn't take long. So with that all said, let's just jump into it. So we're on the cover page here. Mercer Hamelin. I assume he's the illustrator or the writer of the story. You got Crash, Coco, and Cortex there racing on Coco Park. Let's see. Made by Beanox. Story is by Matthew Mercer and Mikhail Morin Hamelin. So that's the story, and then the art is by Hamelin. So this came out in 2019, and here we go. Somewhere in a distant galaxy, Gasmoxia. In a dark, smoggy city, you got Zam, Zem, and Oxide. It looks like Zem is farting, and then burping, and the dog laughs. Oxide uses his hand to get into his trophy room. It's good to be back home, next to all the physical embodiment of my undeniable racing superiority. And then Zem says, we should call you N-Trophy. Zem and Zam, let me show you again the proof that I'm the best racer in the universe. You can see all the planets that I've conquered so far, which are now parking lots. Only one insignificant galaxy remains. The Milky Way. So far, this can fit into continuity. Once I've beaten all the racers in the galaxy, no one will doubt my unmatchable driving skills. With all those planets turned into parking lots for my minions, they're going to park closer to the working places so they can create even more parking lots. What an irony. Mwahahaha. Now let's transform the Milky Way into Concrete Way. And then it says Mars was here. So I think I'm done with the Milky Way. So Mars was the second to last planet. Oxide turned them all to concrete. No life forms in the entire universe can contest my superiority. And he says, what? Driving contest, you are here. Best drivers in the world. So, by the spelling, we can assume that this is not written by Coco or Cortex. So I guess Crash wrote this. And Oxide is furious. So in this comic, Crash knew that someone in space would be right at that location, and he threw a note up into outer space. So, looks like Oxide is on his way to Earth. Later near Earth. And then you have Crash, Coco, and Cortex racing on Coco Park, which was seen on the cover and in the opening cutscene of the game. And here's the hologram. Greetings, creatures of this planet. I've come to compete, so your pesky earth slugs like to race. Hey hey. Well, I, Nitrous Oxide, am the fastest racer in the galaxy. I travel the stars looking for creatures to test my skills. It's a little game I call Survival of the Fastest. Here's the way we play. I challenge the best driver of your world to race for the planet. If your driver wins, I'll leave your miserable little rock alone. But if I win, I will turn your entire globe into a concrete parking lot and make you my minions. Ha 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 ha. Get ready for the race for the fate of your planet. So that's from the opening cutscene. later in a valley full of gemstones called Gemstone Valley. So you've got Oxide ship set up, and he is spying on the people, the racers. You've got Tiny there, Polar, Crash sleeping, Coco on her laptop, Engine, Cortex, Purra, and Dingodile. So he's spying, and then he goes to the bathroom. Now where are those keys? Let's begin. Robots. Hide those area keys. Only the worthiest of contenders that find them all can have the honor of being defeated by me. Fly, my uglies. So we're going to put a pin in that. That seems like it can't fit in continuity, but let's continue on. So then you have the uglies, quote unquote, flying around. And the key in the bubble just pops, I guess. The key falls, hits Ripperoo in his head, goes in the water, and Ripperoo grabs it. So his criteria for finding the best racer is for someone to find all the keys. So it's not the fastest racer, it is the person who can complete a treasure hunt, I guess. Then you have the next ugly flying, and Papu Papu shoots a dart at it and blows it up and gets the key. Then another one flies into Dragon Mines, which I assume the dragon blows fire on it. And Komodo Joe picks up that key. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I did not have this page in the zip file, so we're just going to go here. And the next ugly goes flying, and bang, it explodes, lands in a slot machine slot, and pops out, and Pinstripe grabs it. Then it says, back at Gemstone Valley, Oxide grumbles. What are you waiting for? Go finish those tracks and ensure they are tweaked to my advantage. As you command. Let's get ready. 011001 blah 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 blah, which means you idiot. So that's also an inconsistency. It says go finish those tracks, implying that Oxide's the one who built them, but we already saw that the tracks existed prior to him getting there. Crash Cove, it shows shortcuts being scanned, so maybe it was just a mistranslation and they meant go check out the courses, because it looks like they're showing all the shortcuts. Tiger Temple, Papu Pyramid, Polar Pass. And then Oxide goes out to his vehicle, starts it up, and says, let's show them that I am the best racer in this galaxy. And that is the final page. So now is where I tell you my opinion whether I think it is canon or cannot fit into continuity. And frankly, I think that this comic is non-canon to the Crash Bandicoot franchise, mainly because we have 4 inconsistencies. So right off the bat, it's never outright stated in the games that the bosses have witnessed Oxide race before, but it's implied because you have Ripperoo saying, like, you're crazy if you can think you can take him on, and then you have Papu saying, oh, he's very grumpy, and then Komodo Joe and Pinstripe both say, oh, you're not fast enough to beat him. So, like, it's implied that they've at least seen Oxide race, but in this comic, they kind of just randomly get the keys. And how much sense does that make for Oxide to just have the keys randomly thrown about the planet, and he says, the person who finds my keys will be the fastest one to race me? He says, robots, hide those area keys. Only the worthiest of contenders that find them all can have the honor of being defeated by me. So you'd think he would have found people that race well and handed the keys over to them and said, hey, if anyone can defeat you in a race, give them a key. not just go hide these keys and then the bosses randomly see the robots and steal the keys from them. And this is another inconsistency. Just a random note floating up in space that triggers the whole adventure, that doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. Why would Crash have thrown a note out up into space, and how would he have known exactly where it was? Driving contest, you're here? No. And the last point I want to make, what are you waiting for? Go finish those tracks and ensure they are tweaked to my advantage. He's telling the robots to go finish the tracks, implying that he made the tracks, which we know is not the case. I mean, in the comic itself, you see Dragon Mines, Coco Park, and Hot Air Skyway all prior to this panel. So, while this is a fun comic, and the art's nice, in my opinion, I deem this it cannot fit in continuity with the series. What would have been a nice touch you could have had Oxide send out Zem and Zam previous to the adventure starting and have him race the bosses of this game and have the bosses beat Zem and Zam. And then Zem and Zam could be like, oh, they were really good racers. I think they deserve keys. And our carts have been destroyed by racing these guys, so we can't participate in your tournament. So it would explain how Oxide knew that they were good racers, and it would be a good way to write Zem and Zam out of the original game because they weren't in the original game. It's such a waste. We see them in the opening of the comic, but then they're nowhere to be seen in this game. Rightfully so, because they weren't introduced until Crash Nitro Kart. But point stands, that was really sloppy. And if they took that line out about Oxide making the courses, then it would fit into continuity well. And again, remove that note that was floating out in space. But that is the end of the video. And if you're still watching, I have released one video a week for the entirety of 2021. It was very challenging, and I'm going to continue to do so into 2022. I'm going to try and release at least one video a week. My channel is growing slowly but surely, and I just wanted to take a second to personally thank you. If you're a new viewer and this is your first video, I hope you subscribe and see some more videos of me in the future. If you're a long-time viewer, like Wolf, Cyberwolf, giving you a thumbs up right now, brother. You've been with me for a while. I just appreciate all of you guys, and I'm going to continue and try making Crash Bandicoot content for you. And even if you don't like my channel and you come in here to hate watch me and give me thumbs down, that's alright too. As long as I can get my content out to more people, it makes me happy. I like sharing my thoughts, my theories, my opinions, and that's pretty much it. I hope you guys all have a great holiday, and we'll see you in 2022.